to my channel. I'm Stace and I'm on my little reading corner, as you can see, for this episode of Fantasy Friday. Now, this week's fantasy book that I will be talking about is from one of my favourite fantasy authors. I love disappearing into this fantasy world because it can be very chaotic. It's funny. Then there are a lot of lovable characters. And today's book I'm talking about is Guards by Terry Pratchett. Now this is the eighth book in the Disc world. But don't worry if you haven't started reading it yet, or you think, oh, I'm only on book 2 and I really want to, I like this, by the end of this you're like, oh, I like the sound of this, I want to read this one. You can, because this is the first book in the City Watch series, which is, I've read them in sub-series order. So I started off with the Witches because I love reading about witches. So when I started reading Terry Pratchett, I read the sub-series of the Witches. Then I've read the sub-series of Tiffany Aiken. I've read Death series, and now I have started with the City Watch series, and this is the first book in the sub-series of City Watch. It was a 5-star from me. I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh, and in true Terry Pratchett form, it can be chaotic at times as well, but in a funny way. So we have the characters from this. We have Captain Vimes, who is a grumpy, drinks a lot, drinks way too much, and he's pretty much given up on life. Then we have Corporal Nobbs, who might not even be human. And then you've got Sergeant Colon, who just wants to survive. And then we've got the new recruit, Carrot, who was raised by dwarfs, but he literally takes the law very seriously. And he's so sincere with it, and he's so funny. And Carrot, I think, is one of my favourite characters in this. The plot kicks off when someone summons a real dragon, a giant fire-breathing dragon, and causes a lot of chaos around Animal Pork. The book is hilarious. There's a lot of humour in it because Terry Pratchett does write a lot about humour in it. And it's also Vimes. You can see his journey from him giving up on life and a drunk to feeling sort of wants to protect the people of Animal Pork, and he gets a power and a belief that's what he's really meant to do, is protect them when this dragon comes along. But also there is a little, I can't remember the lady's name, but there is a character in it who has keeps little adorable dragons, and Errol, this little guy here, is probably one of my favourite little dragons in Guards. He's just so cute, and you know, as soon as I found out this had dragons in, of course I was there because I love dragons. So yeah, if you like fantasy with humour, adorable oddball characters, and a story that's ridiculous and surprising, funny, then Guards by Terry Pratchett is for you. I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. And obviously I can't do a Fantasy Friday without talking about a few of Terry Pratchett's books. But I promise I won't talk about them all the time. I'll every now and again throw in a Terry Pratchett book. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you've read any Terry Pratchett books, let me know in the comments below. Have you read Guards before? And you know, I haven't read all of the Discworld series, but you know, let me know which one was your favourite. If you started to read the Discworld series and you wanted to know where to start, I can highly recommend reading them in sub-series order and starting with the City Watch series of Guards. So yeah, I will see you again. Don't forget to subscribe either, else, you know, you'll get a notification every week. Then I post a Fantasy Friday video. So yeah, have a great weekend, and I will see you all again next Friday for another Fantasy Friday. Bye.